You're listening to the Epic Stories podcast, presented by Earlham College. Here's your hosts, Tanaka and Carlton.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Epic Stories podcast season 3. My name is Tanaka.
My name is Carlton.
And our guest for today is
Helena Aleluya Jose.
Alright Helena, thank you for coming. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. I'm okay.
That's nice.
Nice. So can you tell us a little bit about where you're from and what life was like before you got to Earlham?
I am originally from Luanda, Angola, which would be a country in Central/Southern Africa. And I'm currently a senior at Earlham College, but before coming here, I attended UWC Robert Bosch College in Germany from 2019 to 2021. And there I did the IB curriculum, and I got here as a Davis Scholar.
Fun fact, Helena and I actually attended the same UWC.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to come to Earlham?
Honestly, at the end of UWC, I was just a little bit overwhelmed with all the decisions that I have to make in regards to college. I had applied to some, got rejected from some, and got accepted to others. And I just had a huge variety of the ones that I got accepted. And they all had the program that I wanted, because at the time I wanted to be a chemical engineer. And so I was really confused. And then one day I went to Hubertus, who is the college career advisor at UWC, campus advisor. Not sure about the title, but he's in charge of telling you like which schools are out there or which schools you can go with, both in Europe and US. So I went there and he told me, there's Earlham. And I was like, oh, okay, there's Earlham. They also had the program that I wanted. And I think what really kind of snatched my attention and really made me choose Earlham was the fact that they had horses. It was the only school that had horses or a horse program. So I was like, okay, let me come here, and why not?
It's really cool.
Nice. So have you been able to interact with the horses and stuff at Earlham?
I was actually a member of the equestrian team for a year in 2024. 2024. And I also kind of worked and helped in the stables and did shifts there, and yeah, I got to do it. Not when I came, because unfortunately the school was still recovering from COVID, so the barns and stables were closed. But yeah, eventually I got to do it.
That's nice. Okay, so you already said but maybe you can tell us a bit about your major. What major you've been pursuing?
Double majoring in computer science and theater.
Okay.
That's an interesting combination.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Did the career coaches help you to decide your major, or how did you end up deciding mixing computer science and theater?
It was a journey, because when I got here, like I said, I wanted to be a chemical engineer. So that was the thing that was really catching my attention. So I even took some chemistry lessons, and I did even organic chemistry. Like I took like I think 4 chemistry lessons here. But it got to a time where I was also doing both sciences and also kind of dipping my toes into the theater department and helping with the productions. And it actually, my interest in theater started in UWC, where we would have this talent showcases called the Cafe, and we got to perform there or work with original work. And so here I got to try it again, and I saw that no, this is actually a passion of mine. And I was getting a bit overwhelmed at that time with chemistry. And so I decided, well, what would be a second less difficult thing to do? At the time, it felt like it would be CS, because I had taken the first class, which is, I think, problem solving.
Yes,
I guess. Yeah, and it was very fun. I just enjoyed it. I cannot say the same right now, but at the beginning, I had fun. So I was like, okay, let me not do chemistry, let me do CS, which I enjoyed because I enjoyed that class, and theater because I'm really passionate. And I think I'm still at the process of seeing how both of them talk to each other. But yeah, I didn't choose it because I had this big master plan of combining both. I'm still finding my avenue with both.
That's really great. But then I'm not sure if you have already mentioned this. throughout, like when you're making your decisions from, okay, maybe I'm switching from chemical engineering to like computer science, did you schedule in appointments with the career coaches, or did you have any support from there? Or
I would say I talked to my now advisor, Douglas Harms,
okay,
and I asked them what would be the things that I could do, or any paths that I could take if I were to major in computer science. And he basically detailed, both Douglas Harms and Charlie Beck, they basically detailed what I could do and how I can even find ways to find computer science wherever I go. So it just felt at the time the most practical subject to take and the one with most routes or whatever. I think I can see myself doing CS in whatever area I choose, which is really cool as the world gets more technological. And yeah, so I basically talked to the teachers of the department. A career coach, I wouldn't say that was my first go. I would say it was later on, but it was later on when I was looking for things to do in theater, because they kind of pointed me to what I could do using my Epic advantage, which I did use it for theater later.
Ah, interesting segue. Actually, my next question was going to be, have you used your Epic advantage?
Yes, I have.
And if so, how did you use it, and what did you get up to?
So the theater department, they have a trip where they go to Scotland, and they perform at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which is I need to say this, the oldest and biggest arts festival in the world. They advertise it like that. So they take students who are interested there. We work for a performance. We work in a production while we're here, and then we take it to the Edinburgh Fringe Festivals and we perform there. So basically, we become international performers for the first time at the world's oldest arts festival. And yeah, that's where I chose to do my Epic advantage in the summer of 2023.
Wow, this is cool. So you spent some time in Scotland?
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
So just to follow up on that, maybe it would be interesting if you can tell us maybe like what skills did you gain from the whole experience, from you deciding, okay, this is how I want to use my Epic advantage, and from you actually doing the whole program. Do you feel like you gained certain skills?
I would say so, because I went to Edinburgh and I saw many other shows of people who are solo performers that have written their own shows. I got the idea of doing my own show there. So I gain exposure, definitely, and I gain a sense of motivation that I can actually create something for me and it can be presented to the audience internationally. I also gained time management skills there, because when you're working with a whole production, it's about checking in with each other, being on time with each other, and knowing that, for example, what I'm trying to say is that we had a booked place, but that place is only rented for a few minutes, a few hours, I would say. And so you have to be there on time and be able to run the whole show on time and then leave on time so the other group can and also make use of the space. So that sense of, sharpness in time was really helpful to see how big productions are made and how you kind of develop a sense of respect for all the other artists that came after and before you. And yeah, I think for now, at the top of my head, those are the skills I can say I've gained.
That's really cool. So, when you went there, was it only you, or you also went with other Earlham students?
I also went to other Earlham students. So I think it was a group of, the estimate, I would say 10 to 15. It could be less, but in that range, 10 to 15 people right now. And we all went.
Maybe, I'm just curious, how was it like navigating things with like in a group setting? Did you have to do some things with the other guys, or how was it?
I would say we had opportunities to go around the city, and it wasn't there's things that we need to do as a team because we're here. I think the only thing that kind of pushed us to be there was the fact that we were there to carry out a production and perform. But outside of the performing mind, I would say we could do whatever. We could go around and have on tour buses, or go to museums, or go to art galleries, or walk in the park or whatever. We really could. We had that flexibility within the 2 weeks that we were there to do whatever we wanted to do.
Was that your first time visiting Scotland?
Yes.
Did you see any stuff that you were shocked about or surprised to see for the first time?
Oh, that's a great question. I saw the street where Harry Potter was inspired in. I forget the name now, but it was one thing that I was like, oh my gosh, J.K. Rowling was here for a bit, and she saw this, and then she created, which was also something that was like, okay, most of the things that we see in our world really are, I would say in fiction or literature, really are inspired by people who had to put themselves physically in certain places.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing that street, I was like, okay, that's where the magic of that world began, in a way.
Yeah.
So that was the thing that really was cool for me.
That's really cool.
That's cool.
And then, did you have to deal with the financial part, like when you're planning the trip, or that was handled for you?
No, that was handled. My Epic covered everything.
Did you have some leftover like pocket money for your Epic too?
We would have a stipend of £50 per day.
Mm-hmm.
Per day? Yes, per day. So yeah, we could do whatever I could say. No.
Whatever you could do with £50,
Yeah.
I guess. Okay.
But we had everything paid. We had like a transportation. They gave us a pass, so we could take buses to go wherever if we wanted to, and we also had housing. So it was really just food and whatever adventure you wanted to go in.
So, since having finished your Epic Advantage and gaining those skills and knowledge, how confident do you feel now with your future career plans as you plan to graduate soon and head into the...
I would say that it wasn't just the Epic
Mm-hmm.
that has shaped the confidence that I have today.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to Earlham, I've had so many opportunities to do so many things. That just to say the Epic shaped how I'm confident right now, it's a bit reductive to the other experiences that I have.
Yeah.
But being exposed to an international art environment was really cool because for my senior capstone, I got to work on the show that I made, and that show actually was conceived so I could go to French festivals around the world, or at least perform in more international settings. So having that understanding of how it works when you're around international artists, or when you want to be a part of an international organization that caters to artists, was really eye-opening, and I don't know, it made it feel as if it's not that difficult as long as you're kind of prepared and you know who to talk to. So more confidence is, I would say, my confidence for that was created because now I know that if I get to work for an organization, I'm not as scared as before, and I kind of know how to maneuver. So yeah.
Just to clarify, so when we are referring to the Epic, right, there's like the Epic Advantage, and then we also have like the Epic Centers. So I'm not sure whether you have already mentioned this, but then were you also involved with the Epic Centers? For example, right now I can think of like maybe the Epic Center for Global Health, or for Center for Social Justice, or so throughout your time here, were you also involved with the Epic Centers, not like the Epic Advantage itself?
Yes. So basically, what I got to do with the Center of, can you help me with the name?
Entrepreneurship, Innovation, and Creativity.
There you go. I got to work with Jean, and one of the things that, at least I got to work with that center, was the Holt Prize, which is that's how they advertise it. I have to do it. The biggest student competition in the world, where basically students come up with ideas for social entrepreneurship, and then they get to compete and for a chance of winning $1 million to materialize their idea. So in the year of 2023, I was fortunate enough to work with Enehi Ame and Jessica Ngole. They basically kind of told me to tag along in their project, which was the theme for the competition was fashion. So basically, we were to create a project that would tackle the problems of the fashion industry and their impact in the environment. And we chose to create an organization that would take care of the landfills in Ghana and kind of just recycle the textiles and make it into something else for also the local population to sell. So we would give also money to the local merchants. And we went through a campus competition. Unfortunately, we didn't get to win, but then I believe in the idea, so she submitted to the actual competition itself, and we got to the semifinals. And through the Center of Entrepreneurship and
Innovation and creativity.
Thank you. We got to compete and represent the school in Brazil. So that was one opportunity that was really invaluable because we got to see other ideas. We're exposed to how other people think about tackling issues or problems in the fashion. Got to make connections, and yeah, that. Other parts that this center has also helped me with, being more specific, I was able to do a performance in Colorado College in 2024, I believe. I may be wrong, but 2024, where I got to perform for Angela Davis, and that was really, really cool. It was an invaluable experience as well, because I got acquainted to how basically she talks to the public and how she has used her scholarship to kind of speak truth to power. And it was just a very amazing experience, and also got to talk to her and got some words of wisdoms and how she tackles the issues of today's world. And I would say lastly, I got to fly to Madison to participate so I submitted my one-woman show to the Kennedy Center, KCSETF. Kennedy Center, oh my goodness, me and acronyms, very bad. But basically the Kennedy Center, they have a subsection of it where they do competition between people in universities. So I submitted my one-woman show, and I got chosen as a original finalist for the Midwest. And through the center, I was able to fly to Madison to get my play and get feedback and have readings and have people talk about it. Didn't get to the finals, but it was a really good experience as well, because I got to make connections that I still with people that still know about this play. And even when I got to perform now at the Indie Fridge, people that were in KCHDF at that time, they also were there. So it was a really cool opportunity as well. And that's all I can think of now.
That's really
yeah.
great.
That's incredible. A lot of stories and inspiring stuff. So I was just from listening to you, you said that you had been working on like being able to package your show so that you can perform it like in different places. So are you planning to have some of these performances like as you go on, if you get the opportunity to? Are you planning to perform in other places once you move on from here?
That would be the goal, yes. Because right now I've got to perform, I think two now. I've got to perform at the Wayne Boys and Girls Club for the first time. So that was my first time performing outside of Earlham. And also we're just looking for more opportunities to perform within the area. But the show was made to be taken to other places in the world. So we'll see. It just depends on who actually wants me there and says, okay, come. Because it is designed to for audience and to touring. So yeah, that is the goal.
Oh,
Nice.
that's really cool. So are there other things that you have been involved with on campus that you feel like they're going to help you succeed after you leave this place? Or maybe something that I can think of, maybe you were abroad last semester?
Yes.
How did that go?
So I was also part of this program called Freeman Asia, where students basically apply for internships in Asia. And sometimes they match you Sometimes they match you because of your major, sometimes they match you because of the availability of internships that they have. So I was hoping to have one in CS, but because I didn't have many in CS, so I got matched with another thing that was in my resume, which was marketing. So I got to do in the summer of 2024. Yes, was last summer, right?
Yeah.
No. This is 2025. Yeah, 2024 actually. 2024. Sorry, me too. My dates. In 2024, I got to go to Japan for 2 months, and I did an
Oh.
internship in a tourism company, and it was a really cool experience as well because I got to search about the history of Japan and then choose which topics would go to our website or how to get tourists interested in what to visit or not. So I got to learn skills about what to say to get people interested. So that was really cool. And the abroad that you just said, that was spring of 2025. Yes, 2025, where I got to do. Where did I went? I went to London. So sorry, UK. And there I got to. Oh, I took classes in theater, which was really awesome, and I also got to dive into other interests that I have, because I'm also double minoring in creative writing and African American studies, and so there I was able to take classes in theater and writing, and also in um, humanities. I had this class that I remember that I had the most fun was learning was titled Issues with British Imperialism, where I just learned about the history of Britain and how basically their impact or influence in the world is still felt till today. And I had to understand more about British culture and what it is, and how it's carried in other countries. So yeah, and the other class I had, sorry, was the history of Black Britain. So I got to learn about the Black populations in Britain, and I also had tours where we went to um, neighborhoods that were heavily populated by Caribbean and African immigrants, and just see how Black people in Britain, more specifically London, are making their life, and how it's also impacting the overall culture. So that was cool.
Oh,
Sounds
that's really cool.
really interesting.
Yeah.
I think that sounds like a great program to go
Yeah.
to actually.
I would.
So when people are done with their epic advantage, they are asked to present something to the community or to show what they gained throughout their experience. So what are you hoping to present in the upcoming Epic Expo?
So I'll be presenting my one-woman show, which was my senior capstone, and also my summer collaborative project. Basically, it's a story about my childhood and my journey being in Angola and then going to Germany and then looking forward to coming to the United States and seeing how my identity has carried me throughout the stages of life of being, yeah, a Black person, a woman, and a student. So, and also how it ties to my family story as well.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I think I had the opportunity to come and watch your show recently in Indianapolis, and then I actually watched it as well. I think it was in the fall when you performed it in CVPA.
Mhm.
Was it CVPA?
McDaniel.
Yes, that
Yeah.
one. I was really really nice, and to be able to like see the changes that you had made to make it more accessible and easier to like move around with. It was a really good show, and every time I watch it, I get some goosebumps, and I start to think about lots of things and stuff. So I think it's really cool, and I think I'll definitely try to watch it again for the Epic Expo.
Thank you. That was really kind words. Thank you.
All right. So, do you have any advice for the current students or the prospective students who might be thinking to join Earlham?
I would say don't be scared of trying things that you don't believe that you can do, if it makes sense. I think many times people are stopped because, oh, maybe it's the bureaucracy or the amount of things, or the amount of people you have to get through, or the paperwork you have to fill, or the applications and all of that, and that is valid. But don't let that be a hindrance, because many of the really cool opportunities that I had is just because I really thought, oh, what if this person could help me do that? And maybe they won't help me do that, but they will certainly know someone that could help me do that. And just having the motivation to try things and to compete, even if not to win, but to be in places and be exposed to what people in those places are like, I think is valuable, because then you don't get as scared or nervous when you're in positions like that, because you already know how it kind of works, and it's just easier for you to narrow down what is that thing that you actually want to do, because you just had that many experiences. So try, go out. Please don't be seated and don't think that you can't. Just do whatever you can, but do.
I definitely can resonate with what you're saying, Helena, because over this semester, it's only been like, I don't know, 6 weeks. But I've been like observing and talking to people and picking up a few things. And what I've also learned is that like sometimes we like put ourselves in a box and we tell ourselves that this is what's possible just based on what we've been told and what we've seen. And we forget that we can actually step out and try some new things here and there. And so that keeps us from exploring, like you said. And so yeah, I think I definitely want to try and apply some of those things into my life. I think Tanaka as well is probably in the same situation maybe. So we definitely are excited for the future. Yeah.
I'm rooting for you guys.
Yeah, I remember one time you told us you were supposed to be the big fish in the small
In the
pond.
small pond.
Yeah, that was great. All right, thank you for coming, Helena.
Thank you for
This
having
was
me.
another great Epic Stories podcast. Thank you all for watching.
Please follow us and keep up with the Epic Stories podcast on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Soon to be found on other platforms as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.